Hi guys, welcome to the FPL episode for the Corner Taken Quickly podcast. And with me here is Arun Raghavan from the Goal Difference, and we are doing the videos together now as we have merged. So let's get right into the topic. And we have some few questions for the next game week. So the first question to Arun Wing. Arun, how are you doing by the way?
Hey man, hi Nikhil. Doing good, yeah. TGD team is doing very, very well. We're really happy that our transfers are working out. Captaining Bruno was excellent last game week, and we're going with De Bruyne this game week. So, hoping for big returns as he's playing Fulham.
Yeah.
Personally, it's been okay, yeah. ठीक है. What can you say now? Personally, it's been okay. TGD team's been doing better, so it's okay. I'm happy.
My personal team is also not doing very good at the moment. Even Srinath also was bad right last time. So I mean,
Yeah, everyone like there were many managers who had a good game week because they had like managers who had De Bruyne and Fernandes captain and all did well. But I had
yeah,
Vardy captain and he
I
gave just an
have,
assist and I expected him to do really well, but then he really disappointed. So
yeah, Leicester played very bad. Uh, so getting right into the topic, main question by I found on Twitter was regarding Aston Villa and Newcastle, and many people have asked four players from Aston Villa, most of Grealish, Mings, Watkins, or Martinez. Three out of the four are
yeah.
at least in the team. So should they bench them or should they find a replacement right now itself, or should they wait for the double game week, possibly a triple game week, which is being talked about right now for Aston Villa?
So okay, so if you ask me, I'd say that if you have Martinez and Target in your team, I think you can go about removing one of them and replacing them with someone who has a fixture. But you could bench someone like Grealish and Watkins because it's not Newcastle that has the problem. It's not Aston Villa that has the problem. It's Newcastle players
Yeah,
who are self-isolating. So their players like Wilson and Darlow, who have been like most transferred, and as you have told me before coming on air. See, those managers have to be wary of their fixtures because they are self-isolating. But Aston Villa is just they're just playing Newcastle, so they couldn't play this game week. And sadly, we had big players from Aston Villa this game week. So
yeah,
I mean, benching the attackers makes sense, but you can sell one of the defenders and buy in somebody else. Yeah, I mean, first in my personal team, I removed Martinez and took Mendy this game
true.
week. I actually removed Grealish as well, but managers should not remove him. They should not remove him. He is supposed to be excellent. He gave 10 points in the last game week as well. I mean, why not? Why to remove him now? So
Point.
my suggestion is to keep.
Yeah, I also benched Martinez for Ryan. I didn't sell anyone at the moment.
Okay, okay.
So let's see. Uh, and the big question for by many players, they transferred in Wilson and Darlow right after the end of the last game week, and they are now stuck. So
Hmm.
should they bench them or take a hit and transfer someone else?
I still say have a lookout, yeah, because once the self isolation is done, I think Wilson and Darlow are going to be key assets for FPL managers. And Wilson has been scoring very regularly, man. He's in that price bracket. I think he and Bamford, I think, are two very good options to have. So I say keep bench this week and have a look at it next game week if Newcastle are playing or no. If they're still not going to be playing, then I think it's time to sell either one. But I
Yeah,
still stay this week just bench and try getting players like your Bissouma or your Stephens or Romeo in your team because this game week you can manage. But for the future game weeks, if Newcastle are still not playing, then I think you should consider moving them on. It's always good to have a good bench strength, yeah, because now teams will miss out because of COVID play. Anyone can get COVID now. So you
yeah,
should make sure that all your 15 players are playing. So you should have a
true,
good, you need to have a big squad for that, yeah. All fit players, all starting players.
true. Many, even Srinath is in the conundrum right now. He bought in Wilson.
Yeah, yeah, he told me that. He told me that I had spoken
Yeah,
to Srinath, right? So he told me that I got in Wilson, and now my God, that fixture is going to get postponed, and what a waste of a transfer. And he was
yeah,
really, angry with that. But then, well, that's the life of an FPL manager.
He's stuck on the
Uh,
goalkeeper front as well. No? He has Martinez and Fraser Foster. Fraser Foster
oh
won't play, and Martinez,
yeah, yeah.
he's stuck
If,
on
if
that
if he
side.
has target, if he has like I said for the previous question, if he has target and Martinez, I think he can sell Martinez and buy somebody else. I mean, it's okay to
Yeah,
have
but
just one winger to go.
I don't think he's ready to take a hit. He has already transferred in Wilson, right?
Makes sense. Then this game week, I think he'll have to manage with less points, I
Yeah.
guess, with less playing. But then for future game weeks, this should be avoided. Like I mean, you should have your 11 players playing, huh? Because I
Uh-huh.
mean, yeah, it'll be bad for you in the long run. So you might as well take a hit later on and get your team sorted. But right now, it's no time to make knee-jerk transfers. So I think it's time to just wait and watch.
So moving on to the next question. This was a
Hmm.
very popular question on FPL Twitter. Like Jota for Salah or any elite price midfielder at the moment. Even KDB, Bruno included in that.
I wouldn't I wouldn't pick Jota or Bruno or KDB, but anybody else.
Hmm.
I mean, I would have Jota with Bruno and KDB. I wouldn't if I had to pick do an either or with a Bruno and a Jota, then I'd pick Bruno any day because he's on penalties, he's
Yeah.
on free kicks, corners. I mean, you name it, he's there. He does everything
Hmm.
for Man United. And in the last four games, including the Champions League match, not the PSG one, but before that, the four games, Bruno has been giving double-digit points in almost all the games. Even against Istanbul, he scored the two goals.
Yeah.
So he's key to Man United. And De Bruyne is back in form. He gave two assists against Burnley. So I think over these two, no. But Jota over any other midfielder, yes. But if I could bring Jota with these two, that then my God, that's a lethal combination.
That's yeah.
What do you,
So then yeah.
what do
Even
you
I
have to say
thought
about
so.
this?
Even I thought so. I have Jota and Salah together. Jota, Salah, and Son.
Oh, that's good.
I was thinking to bring Bruno in, but I don't have a free transfer. I don't want to take a hit, so I'm waiting it out.
Yeah,
So
Bruno's playing an away game. He's likely to give more points than at home.
yeah, but
He's
Salah's
given
playing at home, so
yeah, that's true. Salah and Jota are playing Wolves, right? So
yeah.
that's a good fixture
And they are
to
both are assisting or combining with each other. They're not
yeah,
finishing it off, but I know it will end up in goals after a point of time. So I'm waiting for that,
that's true.
hopefully.
Yeah.
And Trent Alexander-Arnold is back in training. So many people asking that if they should bring in Trent instead of Mings and as similar defenders or any other defender because Trent could possibly be a huge influence right now because at the moment Liverpool's team is depleted. So Trent will definitely have a run.
Hmm.
So would you have him in the squad or buy any cheaper defender? Because Trent is a higher
Yeah.
price defender. So.
Yeah. So no, man. I mean, I wouldn't pick even if I want to sell Mings or Konsa this game week, I wouldn't bring in someone so expensive, and he's the most expensive defender in the game. I wouldn't
Yeah.
bring Trent in. I would bring anyone cheap. I would bring in a Lamptey. I would bring in a Masuaku or a Kufal. I'd bring in anybody else in that price range or a little higher. But even when Trent was playing, he wasn't keeping the clean sheets. Nor was he giving the attacking returns. I think Trent has given two clean sheets this season and one assist
Yeah.
against Arsenal, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
But that's not good enough for 7.5 million, 7.4 million defender. Yeah, I mean, you need him to be performing more. I know you're a Liverpool fan and all, but if you think
Yeah,
it
but
from an FPL point of view,
Robertson is performing better than him. So
yeah, Robertson. But even Robertson at that price at 7 million,
yeah, he's not worth
but
it.
he's not. It's not worth because see, you're getting Chilwell is giving the same amount of points. Your
Yeah.
Lamptey is giving the same amount of points. Your Masuaku, your Kufals, even Ogbonna scored in the last game week. He's also cheap at 4.5, who's giving points. So I mean, I think this is a season where when there are no fans, right? So away teams are just attacking the home teams without, and the home teams don't have the fan support. So the home teams are conceding more goals. So this is what I feel. Fans are not there. So it's like an even playing field for everybody right now. So
Yeah.
I feel like a team like Crystal Palace at home would never have lost to Newcastle if they had fans. Because
True. Yeah.
Sellers Park is
Very tough place
an
to play.
amazing atmosphere. Yeah, a very an amazing atmosphere with fans in. But since there are no fans, it's hard. Plus, they didn't have Zaha. I'm just giving an example. So I wouldn't
Yeah,
bring in Trent in right now. I would wait for him to start performing and then bring him in. Like last season, I didn't have Trent until he gave those 24 points against Leicester, and then I got him in and he gave like amazing amount of points after that. Liverpool went on this crazy run of clean sheets. So
yeah.
that's when I'm gonna think of buying Trent, Robbo in my team if they're performing, not before that. What do
Fair
you say?
point. Same
If you're
issue
Liverpool,
because they're not worth it if they are highly priced and they don't give that many returns. They are not giving that many returns this season. So
yeah.
I don't have both. I sold both of them. I had both of them at the start. I sold both of
Oh,
them.
oh my God! Wow,
Right.
that was a 14.5 million investment in two defenders. That's a lot of money that you had spent at the start.
I had a cheaper bench, no, but my bench was also playing. So my
Hmm.
first few weeks were good up until the first international game week. After that, it went downhill.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So the final question, and I just got this question on Twitter. Ruben Diaz and KDB are Ruben Diaz and KDB the only safe option from City?
Um, I would say so, but Mahrez didn't start the Champions League game against Porto, so I
Yeah,
think he might start today against Fulham. But
Aguero is
that
back,
being
I
said,
think.
yeah, Aguero is back, but I don't know if he'll start today. Will he? I don't think
Hmm.
he will. He's in contention, I guess, but he may not start. I think De Bruyne is very safe. I think he's going to play for sure. And yeah, Ruben Diaz has been starting. I mean, I'm usually when I'm going for someone in the City defense, I'll always pick Ederson or I'd pick Walker. Walker
Yeah,
very less, but the last 2 or 3 seasons I've always picked Ederson in my team until until I hit the Dean Henderson. I got into Dean Henderson and I was like, no, I'm gonna keep him. Lucky he was at 4.6. I got him for. But I've always taken Ederson because he's a safe choice in the Man City defense. But now I'm surprised to see that Ruben Diaz is getting consistent amount of games. So yeah, I
yeah,
mean, safe. See, even Ederson is a safe pick for Man City if you want someone in defense. But he's 6 million, so maybe that's why managers are not
yeah. He's
considering.
expensive for a goalkeeper, so
Those kind of keepers are always will be highly priced. But he's keeping the clean sheets, and I'm expecting him to keep a clean sheet against Fulham. I know Fulham destroyed Leicester last game week, but I don't think they're gonna repeat that against Man City. That's
here was a question by many of the uh, Twitter fans, and even the analysts were saying like Fulham were comfortable on while counter attacking.
yeah,
So this could either be a high scoring game or just a 1-0 because Fulham missed a lot of chances as well. So what do you think
yeah.
about that?
If Fulham are good at counter attacking, and I know that they can try that against Man City, but I think Man City are much better than Leicester. And I
Yeah,
think, I mean, I know the table speaks for itself, but I think on paper, Man City are better than Leicester, and I think they will beat Fulham. It won't be easy for City, but I think they should win. They should win today. I mean, it's
yeah, they
Fulham
should.
after all. I mean, yeah, they
Yeah,
should.
yeah,
I think
Fulham
because
will
Leicester,
definitely concede. That's for sure.
yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. It depends how much. If you're saying only a 1-0, then I think it will still be a good result for Fulham because losing only 1-0 at the
Mhm.
Etihad is. And now Man City have picked up form as well. I know they didn't score against Porto as well, but I think they're already through. So Pep Guardiola didn't give that much importance. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I think he's gonna give the league some importance as well because Mahrez and all didn't play that game. De Bruyne and Mahrez are both rested, so I think they're both gonna start today against
mm,
Fulham, and I expect Man City to win. I mean, who doesn't? So
yeah. So that was all. Those were all the questions I had from Twitter this time. And any input from your side?
so I would always say this to fans that don't make early transfers. See what happened to Srinath.
Yeah,
He took Wilson very early, and the fixture got postponed. So I always make my transfers on a Friday or a Saturday. So suppose if there's a Champions League midweek game, and I want to take somebody. Now I saw De Bruyne was not playing. For me personally, I saw De Bruyne was not playing in that game. So I just subbed him. I just transferred him in for money. So I know he's going to play against Fulham. So you should delay your transfers as long as possible because by Friday Ben Dinnery puts out the injury list on Twitter and he puts on the manager press conferences as well. So managers who are really playing FPL seriously, who really like use FPL for banter, and we should be seeing Ben Dinnery's tweets very regularly. And this site is also there,
True.
preminjuries.com. So I think you should be
Yeah.
looking at that as well. So that's my tip. Don't make early transfers. Wait, no problem if you lose out on price unless you don't have money in the bank. But wait and watch, and then only because COVID. See, we didn't know about Zaha getting COVID, did we? We came to know
No.
during the game week. So
Yeah.
that is something that you can't avoid. So you make your transfers as late as possible. This is what I feel. Secondly, form over fixtures any day. I know I took Mahrez this week, but he had the form, he has the fixtures. That's why I took him personally. But even if somebody's playing a tough team, I mean, come on, yeah. If he's in form, he's going to score. Like someone like Son. Son scored against Man City. So many managers,
Mm.
including me, removed him. I didn't follow my own mantra that time. So this is what I suggest to managers: keep form over fixtures any day. These are what I feel. I always say.
Okay, that was great input. So, thank you for coming for the podcast today, and
You know.
hope you guys like the podcast, and we'll come up with more tips next time as well. So keep watching. Thank you.